Why did they take so long to release this bulletin, dog? But anyways, Blox Fruits Bulletin number 22 is out, so let's check out everything new. Navigation made easier. Magma Village in turmoil. New skins on the horizon and more. No more sailing. Blind with a new map by your side. I mean, we do have like unofficial maps, but an official one made this time? I mean, that's peak, bro. Who else has gotten lost at sea? Definitely me, right? I don't remember, but yeah. Don't worry, it's natural. After all, the sea is so vast that 97% of it has yet to be discovered by the world's renowned scientists. Between the reefs, fog banks, and terrifying ocean lookers, keeping track of which directions I had already sailed was a nightmare. Thankfully, this is no longer a problem. Has to do with the new navigational charts being handed out across the seas have completely changed how I explore. I can mark out locations as I discover them. I even managed to find my way back to the half-finished lead I abandoned 3 islands ago. Magma Village on Turmoil. Magma Village on Edge by Kilmore Draven. For as long as most residents of Magma Village can remember, the soldiers stationed here have felt less like occupying forces and more like neighbors. They ate at the same stalls, walked at the same trails, and nodded of the same nods in passing. Some of us had genuinely started to consider them part of the island's community. However, that goodwill is beginning to run out. So according to this picture, we see a guy, like 2 people right here, like 2 neighbors right here. They're really angry for some reason. And they're mining magma ores. Now, what is that? If this is hinting on a magma rework, no. But hopefully that island gets a rework. In recent weeks, the military presence on the island has swelled, and so has the excavation working tearing into the volcano's core. I watched residents be pushed further from their own homes, seeing the ground shake more violently with each new drill, and witnessed families who once welcomed these soldiers with open arms start locking the doors instead. Nobody is saying it outright, but the peace here is starting to crack. Elemental creatures have begun to emerge from the volcano. Once being long dormant within the magma, the creatures have been seen fighting back against the military. Well, this is what happens for killing us all times, like in Magma Village when we were grinding, dog. I mean, these guys use hockey, so why? Like, dog, they're gonna attack them next, or maybe even us, the players. Okay, it seems as though the island itself is pushing back against whatever is happening beneath it. What is buried down there, and what's worth risking the village trust? And possibly its safety. Nobody in the military is willing to answer that question at this point. However, it seems like somebody down there clearly wants it badly enough to find out the hard way. Crazy. Recolored and reforged. Multiple new fruit variants have surfaced by Suze Gatorworks. If you don't know who Suze is, he's the dude who was with the Death King on the Halloween update. Scientists across the seas have spent years attempting the impossible, trying to recreate the mystical properties of Blox fruits in their own labs. They have been hoping to engineer variants of their own. While recolors have been made possible, it feels like the world needs a little more. Most of the research has quietly stalled. Not from a lack of effort, but because something far more interesting has been discovered just recently. Multiple new fruit variants have surfaced in the wild, each carrying a strikingly different appearance from the fruit they originate from, while the powers beneath remain unmistakably familiar. Naturally, every lab that had been chasing synthetic reactions have dropped what they're doing to study the real thing instead. Keep an eye out for these variants to be open to the public soon. So are these basically mutations? I see this dude holding like a gravity fruit, and this is magnet obviously, and they're gonna be new fruit variants, as in more skins dropping or new mutations dropping. I'm not sure. The uprise or decline of piratology by Renal Ashworth. I've never expected calm, I've never expected calm from a place called Pirate Village. Not even by its own standards, things are going out of hand lately. It started small, treasure going missing. The usual grumbling you'd expect in a place full of untrustworthy pirates. Then it escalated. The windmill mechanisms that keep half of the island running got jabbed deliberately by a group of brutes who seemed to think it was funny. When I stopped by the local pub to get a drink and ask a few questions, I found the bartender looking more rattled than I ever seen him. Apparently, this group has visited more than once this week, and not for the ale or alley. Nobody I spoke to seemed to know who was behind the sudden spike in chaos, or whether it was even one group at all. What do I know is the pirate residents' patience is running thin, and they seem to have no intention of holding back. Things continue to get worse. Will the piece of Pirate Village ever get a moment? Yeah, I completely said that wrong. Alright, so I'm gonna make a short form of this, so most of you guys can, get it, more about this bulletin. So, yeah, bye. And over and out.